We're talking with Rasmus Hojengaard from Crytek, developers of the upcoming Crysis 3, as well as the 2 previous Crysis games. What's up in the world of Crysis, just shortly?
So, shortly we are making the culmination of the Crysis trilogy. It's set 20 years after Crysis 2. Not only is it there to kind of wrap up the story and tell a unique story, it's also going to answer a lot of the questions that was raised. Crysis 2, for example, Prophet blew his head out, what happened? That's why he's still alive. What is it with these nanosuits? What is it with this infusion of alien technology, and what does it do to you and to technology and so on and so forth? And Earth is faced by an apocalyptic threat, which is not only the Ceph aliens, who Prophet, who you play, had a vision of the world completely taken over by Ceph. So not only that threat, we also have, as it is in real life, threats from ourselves. I mean, we are a fairly self-destructive race. So Cell Industries, which is a corrupt and greedy organization, they believe that your nanosuit, which is not a standard issue nanosuit, is the only successful fusion of Ceph and human technology. And they believe that that fusion is the secret that they need to really understand Ceph technology, which they believe will be their golden path to world domination, which they might be right about. Except that you as Prophet understand that the control that they believe they have by having built these nanodomes around cities where they contain Ceph is just an illusion. They have absolutely no control, and you had received a vision where you see this world completely controlled by Ceph, so you know that you are the only thing that stands between those morons and their plans, and then aliens, and then the survival of the human race. So in short, that's what the game is about. It takes place inside this Liberty Dome, which is one of these nanodomes in New York City. There's these 7 distinct wonders, visual wonders, which is our take on rainforest themes, which all present different moods and different kind of art, not styles as such, but you know, the art is different, the layout is geometrically different, which then encourages different gameplay styles also. And in essence, that is what Crysis 3 is.
The first Crysis was this jungle sort of open world game. The second one was urban environments, a bit more directed in the action. 3, from the looks of it, sort of combines those art styles. Can we sort of see more of a combination of the 2 types of gameplay as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it was kind of like a conscious idea to do that, but it is in essence what it is. What's really great about the setting and the kind of whole context of the game is that we we have the jungle kind of arena or theme from Crysis 1, we have the urban theme from Crysis 2, but then we have this layer of science fiction on top of it, which is these nanodomes, which means that we can push each of these themes further than what you would be able to do if you had to keep it real inside a city or inside a tropical island, right? But because the whole thing is artificially grown, we can make this incredibly, I would almost say, like Jurassic-looking environment. And the argument still stands that it's valid because this thing has been grown by these domes that channel energy and then make this hyper-accelerated plant growth. So we can push verticality, we can push openness in different ways. So both in terms of layout, but also maybe in terms of spirit, there are definitely some like things taken from both of the predecessors. Then we're pushing this hunter theme really hard. The Prophet is hunting down the Ceph, the cell to stop this catastrophe from happening. And that's something that resonates across not only the environments, but also in the equipment that you have, like the bow and so on and so forth. So.
You recently unveiled a new multiplayer game type called Hunter, I believe. What's going on there? So
Hunter is essentially a cell VTOL transport ship that gets shot down. Inside it is a lot of cell troopers. They are a little bit fish out of water when in the middle of this urban rainforest. There are 12 or 14 of them, depending on whether you're on console or on PC. And then on the other side, it's an asymmetrical setup. You have 2 hunters, which only have these powerful bows, and then they have potential for perpetual cloaking. So they are definitely fish in water, but they're also more fragile than the other guys, who are wielding very advanced assault rifles and so on. So basically what happens is that these 2 guys within the time of the round, need to make sure that all the cell troopers are eliminated before they get evacuated. If they do that, they won, but it's not simple as that, because every time one of these cell troopers die, he will respawn as a hunter. So the bias of the team will dynamically change until there's just a single guy left standing in the elimination, which is a very, I can say from personal experience, there's a lot of suspense and a lot of thrill and a lot of jumping around like a crazy person to just survive these last 5 seconds, which can feel like an eternity. And then you basically cycle, and 2 members will always have one time as hunters per default, and the rest of the rounds they will be troopers per default, and each round is 2 minutes long. So it's.
Am I right in saying that you've been sort of inspired by the old Predator movies in creating this style?
Yeah, I mean, it's like yes and no. You know what I mean? It's like probably the same thing inspired, the guys who made Predator, which is the empowering sensation of being not seen inside a jungle, being camouflaged, and being able to observe. And then there's also something cool about being this underdog, and if you can make it, as last man standing, even being the underdog, that's cool as well. And even if you get shot, you get on the other team, and then your job is to take care of all the cell troopers instead, which means you have like these multiple chances of winning. But I think it's just like an age-old kind of hunter instinct fascination that drives both the Predator movie but also this. Of course, there are some similarities in the cloaking aspect and all this, but again, that's something the nanosuit could already do before, right? It just fits this setting really, really well, and of course, it kind of looks like Predator, because of the jungle setting that suddenly is reflected in the. But it's not like per se that was kind of like a conscious idea. But again, all developers are. I don't think I know a single developer who aren't in some way or form fans of Rambo with explosive arrowheads and Predator with dynamic camouflage, right? So
it's more about being invisible is awesome.
Being invisible and being on top of the situation and kind of feeling like you own the scenario and that you feel empowered is just awesome. And it's also something that permeates through the game as in the single-player campaign. And also, I would say, what's really great about the Hunter mode is that it's such a good fit for the campaign, because the two things just, even though it's a different kind of suit you wear and it's totally different because you're not per se the good guy here. I mean, you kill these sheep theoretically. It's still very much in trot with the rest of the game, which is cool. We always like that things don't feel like appendixes, so it's really important that we create this multiplayer stuff that blends well, even though there might be separate games, that blends well in the DNA with the single player campaign, and this certainly does that. So.
Is Hunter going to be the only multiplayer option, or are there more traditional like 2 teams?
There are more. We actually revealed another one, which is called Crash Site, which is part of Crysis 2 also, but obviously these existing modes, they get polished and enhanced and tuned to this iteration of the game. And then there are still things that we haven't announced yet that will be announced as we go. This is just one of the new modes in the game. It's going to be plenty of multiplayer opportunities, and some more traditional, some more new, like Hunter, for example, which is new for the franchise.
So you still have a couple of secrets up your sleeve?
Yep. Always.
All right. So when, just as the last question, when's the game coming out? I can't remember.
February 2013 is the release window.
Thanks very much.